Hope you are really doing very good and also following the online classes. Hope you have also seen the yesterday's topic, that is excretion, the introduction of the unit, which is the new unit we have studied, and that's excretion, right? So now we are going to discuss few things today also. Yesterday we have discussed the anabolism, catabolism and the metabolic activities which bring out the waste in our body and that need to be eliminated from our body. That is all things we were studying yesterday. So basically, as you have seen, if there is a factory or something, they will definitely produce the waste, and all those waste should be excreted outside, and though that particular process is called as excretion, right? Excretion, otherwise you can easily say that excretion is removal. It is the removal of waste materials, okay, or else you can also call it as unwanted materials, which are also called as the unwanted materials, okay. Otherwise you can say non-useful products. So removal in the sense here, getting rid. So getting rid of the unwanted material or non-useful material or the products from our body, or you can say separation. You can also use the word called as separation. So separation of the waste materials, removal of the waste materials, getting rid of the waste materials or which are not at all useful to our body, or else you can also call them as which are toxic to our body, which may become poisonous to our body. All these materials, if they are excreted from our body, if they are removed from the body, that process is called as the excretion. So excretion is a process where there is a separation, or you get rid of the unwanted materials or the non-useful products from the body which are really toxic to our body. So already we have learned that during the respiration, carbon dioxide is released. Already we have known that carbon dioxide is a deadly poisonous gas, and that should be definitely eliminated out of our body. And even some of the excess water which is in our body is also comes out like in the form of water vapor. That is already what we know. And also there are some other metabolic activities which takes place in our body. Metabolic activities in the sense, I told you, like combination of the anabolism and the catabolism. So those kind of activities, they take place in a so during some of the metabolic activities, during some of the life processes, right? So during all these things, especially when you talk about the metabolic activities, we are talking about the anabolism and the catabolism. So during that process, what is released? Number of nitrogenous wastes are released. So all these nitrogenous waste, they release out along with some of the salts and also some other materials, and also excess amount of H2O. So these are all the things which are not useful to our body, which are unwanted to our body, right? Of course, what is important, but when it becomes excess, it becomes unwanted for the body. So whatever is unwanted to our body, that should be removed out. So you see, in that particular way, the nitrogen waste are released out from the body, and salts are eliminated from the body, and there are some other materials which we are going to read now. Especially in the blood and the urine, there are several things which are unwanted to our body. All those things are released, and also whatever the excess amount of water is there in our body, even that is also released, or it is also eliminated out of the body. So these are the different things which are eliminated from the body or excreted from the body because they are unwanted, right? So now when you come to the word called as excretion, EX, that means out, okay, and crene, that means shift. So shifting, or you can say out. So excretion means removing the materials out or shifting them from one place to the other place, and it's a Latin word. Excretion is a word which is derived from the Latin words ex and crene, which means shifting or out. Okay, so this is the these are basic things which you have to remember. Okay, now we will come to the very important part of the lesson, right? So according to this particular topic. Okay, so coming to the metabolic activities, right? We talked about the metabolic activities. So these metabolic activities, if they have to happen, lot of reaction has to take place in our body. So we have already seen that respiration is not a very simple process, isn't it? So lot of reactions takes place in that, isn't it? Lot of reactions will take place, and all these reactions, like when they are when the reactions are getting moved up, so a lot of toxic waste are produced. So many poisonous materials are produced. Toxins are produced. Toxins in the sense which are harmful to our body. They should not be in our body, and they should be immediately removed from our body. So those kind of toxic waste are released into our blood, and then even the H2O, right? What, see, H2O in the sense not only the water which you drink, but also whatever the food content which you eat, which has water in that, even that also becomes excess to our body. So whatever the things you eat, like it will have the very good amount of water in that, so that also becomes excess to our body. So food, the water from the food, or directly whatever what you drink, the juices, the coffee, the tea, whatever you drink, all those things, like, so because of that, that will definitely water will increase. And also there are different ions in our body, like sodium ion, right? So all these ions, like their balance will be because they are in a balanced state. They're in a balanced state. So addition of extra some more of sodium, or extra some of the other ions and all, like they will definitely disturb the balance. So there should be the particular number of ions, right? There should be the particular amount of salts and all in our body. So that amount will be disturbed when something new is added. When you eat something, that will be added. So whenever our body feels that this is more than the required amount which is in our body, so our body should have only A, but now this B has already joined, so we should eliminate this B. So that is how ionic balance has to be maintained. So ionic balance is completely disturbed when the reactions will take place, and when because of the toxic waste are produced. Along with that, water is increased, and also ionic balance is disturbed. Apart from all these things, now we come to the very, very important part of our unit, and this one you have to keep in your mind, because our complete unit is based on this particular things, right? So what is also released is carbon dioxide. That is already we have learned here, right? Carbon dioxide through the process of respiration. Each and every cell gives out the carbon dioxide, right? All this carbon dioxide which is already present in our cells, right? Because cellular respiration will take place. Cellular respiration in the sense, cell will take the oxygen and burn the glucose, and forms the carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide comes into the blood, and from the blood it comes through our nose, right? From the nostril, so it will come out. So that is how the carbon dioxide is released, right? So that it has a different system. See, even this carbon dioxide is also a poisonous gas, and that should be released out. And next come to the nitrogenous substances. So whatever the nitrogenous substances are there, they are also formed in a plenty, like a very good amount. And then ammonia is formed, and then urea is formed, then uric acid is formed. So ammonia, urea, uric acid, all these are the different nitrogenous substances which are formed because of the reactions which takes place in our body, right? Because of the digestion process, because of the respiration process. So whatever the processes, life process, metabolic activities which require reactions, if they go on, so these are all the things which are formed. So especially this urea and uric acid, like they should not be in our body at any cost, right? You cannot store them in our body. So immediately they should be eliminated, because if they stay in the body, they have the ability to kill the cells of our body. So they should be immediately eliminated outside. So for that purpose, these should be eliminated. And then come to the bile pigments. Whenever RBC, the cells, after 120 days, they will die, right? They will get disintegrated, and then what are formed? Bile pigments are formed. So there are two bile pigments here. One is bilirubin, and second one is the biliverdin, right? So remember these two words, bilirubin and biliverdin. I'm just writing it here. So this bilirubin and biliverdin are the bile pigments, right? Which are found in the bile juice, which is secreted by the liver. which is secreted by the liver. So this liver will have the bile, will secrete the bile juice we have learned in the digestion process, right? And in that there are pigments which are called as the bilirubin word in, and actually these are the salts. They are not the enzymes. These are the salts. So all these are excess in our body now, right? When you eat food or when the metabolic activities takes place and all, like this becomes completely excess in our body. And also when you take the food and all, you'll be taking some salt also, right? So there's already salt in your body, right? And when you take some other salts from it, then they will become excess in our body. So even that salt should be removed outside. So they should not be in our body. So all these excess salt should be removed. And now all these, if they are in our body, they become poisonous to our body. And especially the most toxic material which is present in our body is the ammonia. Ammonia is the most toxic material which is present in our body. So even that should be also removed. So for that purpose, what is the process which our body is going to adapt is the excretion. So they should be, all the substances should be excreted outside. Okay, children, so for this excretion and all, there are different excretory organs. We'll study one by one. First of all, you'll take the skin. Skin also excretes some oils and water. Okay, so it does a different thing. Our lungs also, they'll excrete the carbon dioxide. That's a different thing. And then our liver is also like, it detoxifies the toxic materials which comes there, like we will also learn about that one. So liver will also act as an excretory organ. Our intestines will also act as an excretory organ by removing the waste materials, right, or in the form of feces. So now, apart from all these things, there is also one special organ which is the excretory system. We say it's an excretory organ, or you can say the excretory system of our body, and that particular organ is called as the kidney. That is what we are going to study in this particular unit, right? Kidney plays a very, very prominent role in the excretion. That is the one which removes the nitrogenous substances, ammonia, okay, urea, uric acid, whatnot. So all these things are completely removed from our body by the kidneys and all. So now what we are going to do is we are going to learn about the kidneys. Okay, children, so now get back to the kidney. So we'll see the longitudinal structure of the kidney, right? Longitudinal structure of the kidney. So if this is a kidney, if you cut like this, it is the transverse section. So if you cut like this, okay, from the top, if you cut like this, if you make this two equal out, that is the longitudinal section. So if you cut like this, it is transverse section. This is what you have seen in case of leaf. That is transverse section of the leaf. We have cut like this, and we have seen the things which are this side, right? But whereas here we are going to have a longitudinal section of the kidney, and also we are going to see what are the different parts present in it. Okay, children. Okay, children. Now we will try to know about the kidneys first, right? Kidneys, like there are two kidneys which are present in the lower rib region. Okay, exactly beneath the ribs, and also we have two kidneys, right? And these two kidneys are in bean shape. Okay, I'm writing here, they are in bean shape. Okay, that's the first point I want to tell you, that you can see the shape of this, like it's a kind of bean shaped structure. Okay, that's the first thing. And now these kidneys are like about these, the color of the kidneys is, okay, this is the shape. And now we'll go to the color. Color is like reddish brown color, right? That is the color. And third one is the size. The size of the kidneys is around, you can say 5 inches length and 3 inches breadth, or you can say wide. Okay, so the color is reddish brown, the shape is bean shaped, the size is, it's around 5 inches in length and 3 inches in the width. Okay, this is the shape, color and size of the kidneys, right? How many kidneys are there? There are 2 kidneys which are present under the lower rib region. Okay, at the back, lower rib region. Okay, So now these are the basic points about the kidneys. Now you can see here this outer part, right? This outer part which is here, which I'm showing you now, this is called as the cortex. It is called as the cortex, and this cortex is basically like you always call it as the outer cortex. It's called as the outer cortex. So you remember the word outer. So this outer cortex is like it is reddish brown in color but a bit pale. It's a pale reddish brown in color. So I'm talking about this white color which you are seeing here. This one is called as the outer cortex. So because what are the things like when it is outer we call it as cortex. So the outer part is called as the cortex, and that cortex will be reddish brown in color and it will be a bit pale in color. And now this is the inner part. Okay, this is the inner part, and this inner part will be in a dark red color, dark reddish brown color. It will be dark reddish brown color. Okay, and this one is called as the medulla. This one is called as the medulla. Basically we call it as the inner medulla. So outer cortex and inner medulla. So these are the two words which are used to tell about the cortex and the medulla. So outer cortex, inner medulla. Outer cortex is also reddish brown in color but a bit pale. But whereas the medulla, inner medulla is dark reddish brown in color. Okay. See, outer part is pale and the inner part is a bit dark in color. Okay. And now you can see here some pyramid-like structures which are called as the calyces. They are called as the calyces, or you also call them as the renal pyramids. You also call them as renal pyramids. Renal pyramids. Okay. And what you see inside, what you can see inside these are the nephrons. These are called as the nephrons. Nephrons are the basic structural and functional units of the kidney, in which these are the ones which are actually helping in production of the urine. So these nephrons which are in these renal pyramids are actually helping in the formation of the urine. Okay, so keep this point in your mind, right? So we have seen the parts like the outer cortex, inner medulla, and calyces, that is renal pyramids, and also we have seen that these are the nephrons. So we come to the end of the four parts. Okay, now you can see here this red color one is the renal artery. It is called as the renal artery, and this green one is the renal vein. Renal artery, in the sense, the renal artery actually starts from the aorta, that is the systemic aorta, and now one of its branches comes to the kidneys, and it will supply the oxygenated blood. Okay, that will bring the oxygenated blood into the kidneys. Okay, into the kidneys, and then coming to the renal vein, it actually comes out from the kidneys, its origins from the kidneys, and then it gets attached to the inferior vena cava. Already we have seen that there are superior and inferior vena cava. Superior, in the sense, brings the blood from head and neck. Okay, and whereas the other parts of the body, okay, the inferior vena cava will bring the blood to the heart, right? So this particular kidneys are also in the inferior side. So this kidney, like these are the branches, like will join the inferior vena cava. So they bring out the deoxygenated blood that is full of carbon dioxide. So renal artery and the renal vein. So these are the two very important parts. Okay, and next part we are going to see is, now you can see this part, right? This part is called as a broad part which comes out from the kidney is called as the pelvis. It's called as the pelvis, and the place where this renal artery and renal vein goes inside the kidney, and this particular part is called as the hilus. It's called as the hilus. Okay, and the part which is coming out, okay, this particular part which is having a broader end which comes out from the kidney is called as the pelvis, and that pelvis comes and joins, like it will form into a tube-like structure which is called as the ureter. It is called as the ureter. So this is the longitudinal structure of the kidney. So now we'll see the parts once again. Here the first part is like first of all it is a bean shaped. Second one is it is reddish brown in color, 5 inches in length and 3 inches in the width. And then this outer part is called as the cortex, inner part is called as the medulla, where these renal pyramids are located. All this part is nothing but the inner medulla. Okay, outer cortex is a bit pale in color, pale reddish brown, but whereas the inner part is completely dark reddish brown in color. Okay, and then there is hilus, where the artery and the veins goes inside into the kidney, where it is situated in the kidney, and arteries will get the oxygenated blood into the kidneys. Okay, because they start from the systemic aorta, and the unwanted blood, that is the deoxygenated blood, is taken by the renal vein here. I have drawn the renal vein here. So this renal vein carries out the deoxygenated blood from the kidney and directly joins the inferior vena cava. Okay, and this broader end which is coming out from the kidney is called as the pelvis, and they will continue as tube-like structures which are called as the ureters. Okay, so this is the longitudinal section of the kidney. Hope you will keep this in your mind. And also I think that what you do is you draw the structure of the kidney, label the parts, okay, write about the different points I have explained on the board and not from the text. Okay children, so that's all for today. Take care and have a nice day. We'll meet tomorrow with the renal system and also the structure of nephron. Okay children, until then, see you all. Have a great day.